I love creating the podcast. If you have enjoyed the episodes in any way, the best way to support me is my subscription link. For as little as $3 a month, you can help support the time and production cost included in producing the podcast. Welcome to the Essence of Life podcast. My name is Barbara Ann Briggs, and I'm a certified teacher of transcendental meditation and also a certified consciousness advisor. I'm an author and I have a YouTube channel called Living Wisdom. The titles of my books are Pilgrimage on the Path of Love. This is a novel of visionary fiction, which has been hailed as the perfect amalgamation of spiritual wisdom, self-knowledge. My second book is the contribution of Maharishi's Vedic science to complete fulfillment in life. This book has over 100 quotations by Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, and it gives a very deep insight into the fundamentals of Maharishi's Vedic science. My third book is called Guide to Good Health, and it gives an overview of the fundamental knowledge for prevention of disease and maintenance of good health from the perspective of Ayurveda. The subject of today's podcast is the essence of Vedic wisdom. Veda means knowledge, and the essence of Vedic wisdom is the knowledge and the experience of the self. The self, according to Vedantic terms, the self is called Atman, the soul, the inner being of every individual. And the totality of the universe is called Brahman. Brahman means big, whole, totality. And according to the Vedic understanding, Atman is one with Brahman. The self, the soul, is one with the totality of the universe. But we do not know this because we haven't experienced the depth of the very depth of who we really are. This is the value of meditation. Meditation enables us to experience the Atman, the self, the inner being, and that inner being is truly one with the unbounded wholeness of life itself. This is the knowledge of the Veda, the knowledge of the self. According to the Vedic wisdom, the truth of life is one, but it is called by different names. All religions aim for the experience of the self, the soul, the inner being, but each religion has a different name, and it has grown up from the different geographical climatic conditions of the actual place where the religion was born. So each religion has a different name, a different form of worship, but the aim of each religion is the experience of the divine. The essence of Vedic wisdom is that the basis of life is unified at its source, that the ultimate reality of life is one, and the true self of every individual is the same self of all beings, of all human beings. There is one self, and this self is the underlying substratum of the universe and the innermost layer of each individual consciousness. This is the experience that we have when we transcend the surface active level of the mind and we experience that level of pure consciousness, the level of pure awareness. The true essence of the individual is Sat Chit Ananda, the existence, knowledge, and bliss absolute. This is the level of pure consciousness. And the ultimate reality is beyond name and form. The ultimate reality of life is of the nature of pure consciousness, or pure being, or the pure essence of life is the oneness, the unity, the wholeness that interconnects all every grain of life is interconnected by that underlying wholeness of the self. And now I'd like to read you from a book called World Within the Mind. And in this book, there's a conversation between Ram and his teacher, Vashishta. And Ram wants to know what is the nature of the very essence of life. And he asks his teacher many questions, and the teacher answers, and the answers he gives are the very essence of Vedic wisdom. His teacher is called Vashishta, one of the great seers of the Vedic tradition of knowledge. And Rama asks these questions. Why is it that these men and animals are compelled to make their entrances and exits on the stage of this evanescent theater of life? What is the nature of our mind, and how is it to be governed? What is this Maya of the universe? Maya means illusion. What is its origin, and how may it be avoided? How does it bind the soul? And what benefit or disadvantage is there in ridding oneself of this illusion? And then the sage Vashishta, he says, but before he answers the question, Ram continues his question to the sage. When will my anxieties be completely at rest? When will my cares come to an end? When will my soul have its holiness? When will my fancy end its flight and concentrate on the inward truth? When will my mind be absorbed into the Supreme Spirit, like a turbulent wave subsiding on the breast of the quiet sea? When will the light of reason dispel this dark cloud of ignorance that envelops my divine essence under the veil of this miserable form? And the sage Vashishta answers Ram's questions. The divine spirit is imperishable, and after it is once known to the human soul, not even a grain of error can remain. I'd like to read you from the book called Self-Knowledge by Shankara. This book explains very clearly the nature of the Atman, or the soul, or the inner self of all living beings. The nature of the Atman is eternity, purity, reality, consciousness, and bliss, just as luminosity is the nature of the sun, coolness of water, and heat of fire. Atman never undergoes change, and the Buddhi is never endowed with consciousness. But man believes Atman to be identical with the Buddhi, or intellect, and falls under such delusions as that he is the seer and the knower. The soul, regarding itself as a jiva, is overcome by fear, just like the man who regards a rope as a snake. The soul regains fearlessness by realizing that it is not a jiva or an individualized living being, but the supreme soul. As a lighted lamp does not need another lamp to manifest its light, so Atman, being consciousness itself, does not need another instrument of consciousness to illumine it. Now he goes on to explain again what the Atman is. And the Atman is the I. I am free from sorrow, attachment, malice, and fear, for I am other than the mind. He is without breath and without mind, pure, higher than the high, and imperishable. I am without attributes and action, eternal and pure, free from stain and desire, changeless and formless, and always free. I fill all things inside and out like the ether, changeless and the same in all. I am pure, unattached, stainless, and immutable. It is explained that once we realize the oneness of the Atman with the totality of life, then there is nothing more to be attained. Realize that to be Brahman, the attainment of which leaves nothing more to be attained, the blessedness of which leaves no other bliss to be desired, and the knowledge of which leaves nothing more to be known. Realize that to be Brahman, which is existence, knowledge, bliss absolute, which is non-dual and infinite, eternal, and one, and which fills all that exists between. Realize that to be Brahman, which is non-dual, indivisible, one and blissful, and which is indicated by Vedanta as the irreducible substratum after the negation of all tangible objects. So this is basically the knowledge, the essence of Vedic wisdom, that Brahman is the totality of life, and that the individual soul is one with the unbounded wholeness of life, and that the idea that we are separate from one another, and the idea that we are limited and bound by circumstances or by our body is an illusion which is created by ignorance, by the covering of ignorance. And when that covering of ignorance is removed, we realize that we are one with the entire universe, and the consciousness is unbounded and it's free, and it exists as the illuminated essence of the wholeness of life. So this is the essence of the Vedic wisdom. And this is the wisdom that frees us from bondage. And this is the wisdom that is called enlightenment, when we live in the light of life, when we live with the full knowledge of who we are, and we live in total freedom, and we act as an instrument of the divine will, which is always for the evolution and the progress and the maximum development of all life and all living beings. And the whole purpose of life is to gain unity with that truth of our essence, which is unbounded and free, and of the nature of existence, knowledge, and bliss, absolute. So this is basically what I wanted to share with you today. And if you'd like to learn more about my work, you can go to my YouTube channel, barbaraannbriggs.com. And I also have a special promotion of my audiobook, Pilgrimage on the Path of Love. The audiobook will be discounted from December 3rd until December 7th, and the discount is from $15.99 to $9.99. You will be able to purchase it at a much reduced price for those 4 days from the 3rd till the 7th of December. And if you enjoyed this podcast, I'd like to invite you to my YouTube channel, Living Wisdom. And it's been a great pleasure speaking to you as always. And I look forward to joining you again very, very soon. Until we meet again, very, very best wishes to you.